So the last video we were done with the four main parts of female reproduction, like reproductive system. So today we'll go with the ovarian cycle. So let's see what you'll see in this chapter. First thing, human female, like you'll see from the one kind of word called as seasonal Australius. So what does this mean? You'll see this term that human being like female does not undergo this type of reproduction. Seasonal. This means this is telling as we if we take few plants, they only lay their egg when it's like if there's a season where they feel comfortable or like they have few temperature, everything is perfect for them. At the time they lay their eggs, so this means they are called as egg laying, not egg laying, but they are called as seasonal ostriches. But what they say undergo, like female, like human being, mammals or human being undergo this kind of thing. This means when we talk about the woman, female lay egg every month. If you're thinking if it lie every month, so every month we know we have two type, like this type of system we provide. So you'll see ovary like a structure over here. So every month it get alternate. One time it's released from this side, second time it's going to release from this side. So this means they are going an alternate process, and that's all. So I'm sure it's clear to you. Then comes what's next. Let's see what you'll see more. Female lies eggs every month, so it get alternate either that's month or so. This entire process of repeating or having cycle like right after 28 days. As I mentioned, seasonal. It's like we know we have four type of seasons, and we know we have kind of like, if I've just mentioned few other animals lay their egg seasonally, but as human being, as a female, they they lay egg every month. So it's like every month usually we consider as 28 days. So this means they lay every month. Then this complete cycle, like from this 28 days to next month 28 days, this kind of cycle termed as what? This cycle termed as ovarian cycle. So I'm sure it's clear to you. Then comes the entire process. So before we proceed further, let's see what's written. So here you'll see the ovarian cycle. What you'll see, females do not undergo seasonal Australian cycle. So this means, of course, as I mentioned, because as lower mammals, because lower mammals does that, but not human being. Instead, one egg is released from ovary once about 28 days. So as I mentioned this as well, that's called as ovarian cycle. So it's like very easily written. So I'm sure it's clear to you. Then comes the diagram main part, which I'm sure is kind of pillar like. So I'll just I don't have any other picture, but what I'll do is I'll try to make it and explain you nicely. So I hope it works for you. So let's see what you'll see in this side. First thing you'll see, we know this is kind of egg. Around this you have follicle. The middle part called as egg. This is called as follicle. So every month you'll see changing in follicle. So if I just read this part, you'll understand. What you'll see, ovarian cycles include changes which in ovarian follicles to secondary and finally to vesicular or Graafian follicles. So as I mentioned, this is egg, that's follicle. What you'll see more is like you'll see this is called as primary oocyte. What you'll see, here comes the second one, that's called as secondary oocyte. After the secondary oocyte, when it comes the third one, you will see that's called as kind of Graafian follicle. That's on the name of the scientist, by the way. And this is also called something more, that's called as vesicular or Graafian follicle. So these all process as I'm here. So what you'll see, follicle finally to vesicular or Graafian. So this means they does so many functions, and this all every action is taken under the regulation of FSH and LH, which are secreted by anterior pituitary gland, which I discussed hopefully. Then the primary follicle, which is comprised of primary oocyte. As I told you, the primary follicle called as primary oocyte, which is evolved by epithelial cells. And on the other hand, secondary follicle, which is characterized by the presence of follicular fluid pools that surround the oocyte. The vascular follicle, which is characterized by the presence of cavity, which is filled with the fluid, which gradually increase in size until the follicle protrudes onwardly on the surface of ovaries. So what they are saying, let me just explain you. What you see with this primary follicle is also termed as primary oocyte, which I've directly written. Then it will go to secondary oocyte. Then after that we have Kaplan follicles or gracilar follicles. Both names would be given. Then this has so many. In this one you'll see fluid-filled cavities present. Even if you see in oogenesis, this third step called as tertiary cycle, tertiary oocyte. So in that tertiary oocyte is quite important, is because this is another kind of work. Another work is simply they have adrum. Adrum is a fluid-filled cavity that's called as that's why it's like quite important. So I'm sure it's clear to you. Then we have so many other regions, like they have other functions, fluid cavity, and these all, which is written over here. So if we see just diagram, what you'll see, first you'll see there's oogenesis. Let's go with another color now. You'll see oogenesis with the mitosis division. Oogenesis will go into primary oocyte, then meiosis will take place. This means same number is still there. After that, the primary oocyte, which is in the prophase 1, what it will do, it will meiosis 1 will take place. Primary oocyte will be divided to first part and second part. First part will remain same as like this can again be converted to like no meiosis 1. Rest, when we are talking about this one, here you will see egg sperm cells will be produced. Meiosis 2 would be there. This called as meiosis 2, which is completely fertilization over. Then in this process one would be formed and secondary polar body as well. So all polar body, which they all degenerate simply. So I'm sure it's like if this is the follicle which is producing, but you will see every month only one egg get fused, otherwise all get died, denatured. So this means when the this polar bodies covered, they all get degenerated. And here's a little definition of oogenesis, which is also quite similar process. Oogenesis is simply formation of the process formation of ovum is called as oogenesis. So process of cell division by which ova eggs are formed from germ cells present in the female gonads. So these are present in female sex organ called as ovaries. So you will see process of ovum formation, which start at the very earlier age, like embryonic age. I'm sure it's clear to you. Then germ cells ovary divided to oogonia, which is 2n. So from 2n it will divide it, which means it's going to be kind of 2n. This means they have 43. Otherwise it gets single. So this means they are n and half number 23. So they are oogonia haploid, which develop to the primary oocyte. The later undergo the mitotic division, and after that you will see in the second picture there will be secondary, and after secondary you will see tertiary, which I already mentioned. So this means there are completely so many parts. So I'm sure it's clear to you. Here comes the end of this topic. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Stay connected.